our brains don't get to adult to about age 26. It's it's an intellectual speed of computation, you could say. Or there's a fatty substance that covers our nerves, and the thicker it is, the faster we think. When we're born, it's most available here because we need to be able to, our hearts need to pump and our lungs need to breathe, so we need that speed then. And then around age 13, all of a sudden you can do algebra. You couldn't do algebra prior to age 13 because you didn't have abstract thinking. You had concrete math. So you could do concrete operations, subtraction, multiplications, adding, division. But somewhere around age 12 or 13, you can do A plus B equals C. You can see it happening if you watch your children. They go to pre-algebra and they go to algebra. And then around age 16, you have more intelligence available, so you can teach them how to drive. But you can't teach them to expect to die. They say teenagers, they think they're immortal. No, they just can't imagine dying. That's an extra level of abstract thinking. You can teach them how to avoid pregnancy, but you can't teach them to expect personally to experience pregnancy. That's another level of abstract thinking. And then around age 26, 25, you can go, what the heck am I doing that for? All the things you've been doing for the past 20 plus years make no sense because you can see the patterns. You can identify patterns that, oh, heck with that, and then you go on and have your adult life with access to a fully functioning intellect. So part of the answer is biology. And when you're 5 years old, you figure out things that you think are true, like no one cares what I want. Or someone came and she never felt appreciated or respected or loved in her entire childhood. And so by the time she got to be an adult, she had a PhD and I am not good enough. All the evidence growing up was that she was not good enough. And once you program that into your brain, you start looking for not good enough, even though it's not there. It's called confirmation bias, for those who are technically interested. So she wakes up in the morning in a not good enough life. If she's 5 minutes late, not good enough. Food's cold, not good enough. She gets to an argument with her spouse, surely she's not good enough. And then she goes to sleep and wakes up the next day in the exact same position. In the work I work with couples, we look at some of these memes, these interpretations that are running like reruns. Those are my generation know what a rerun is. That you'll keep on repeating your patterns until you can distinguish them and then overwrite the code. This person, an example, married someone who learned as a child that he has to be aware of the emotional needs of the people around him, because that's what worked. And these are the two people who said I do when they got married. Think about this. Not good enough, married, I have to be aware of the emotional needs of my spouse. Not exactly the marriage. So basically, they didn't have a marriage. When you get married, you have a piece of cake, a ring, a license, and a party. But that's not your marriage, it's a wedding. It's what follows the wedding. That's your marriage. And our society does a particularly poor job of preparing us to shape the future of our marriage. Couples who come to me will have those tools, and they'll have complete rewrites. I can tell you a number of stories, including one I saw yesterday. They were destined for divorce. They'd separated their properties. They divided their money. They actually live in two different houses. But one of them was clear. I love you forever, said she. And once we ironed it all out, they're on a track to reconciliation. And you have to do some rewriting of old toxic codes to understand that all of life has no language. Birds don't sing, trees don't fall, waves don't crash. These are all words that human beings have added to their expression of being alive. Everything we're talking about is an interpretation. The good news is that once we realize that, they're critical, judgmental, could be swapped for, hey, they're deliberate and loving, Still an interpretation, but you have a very vastly different life. Choose your interpretation.